Mr. Al-Bakr, you guys are still operating 150 flights daily, even as many of your rivals say that they just can't do it. How are you continuing to do this, and who's flying right now?
Yes, we are continuing reduced frequencies. We have downgraded capacity, but we need to still serve the people. We need to get people back home. We have huge demands from several embassies requesting flights for the stranded citizens. At the same time, there is a lot of demand for people wanting to get back home. So we are continuing our flights and serving the people, but at the same time making sure that we have the highest standards of protection for our crew, at the same time for our passengers, making sure that the aeroplanes are properly disinfected with the latest materials that we have available to us. We are also making sure that Hamad International Airport, where the passengers are transiting, are also very well equipped to make sure that there is no risks to our passengers.
Do you think you'll be able? I'm sorry, sir. Do you think you'll have to cut back further on the kinds of routes you're running right now?
At the moment, we do not plan to cut back further because we have already cut back whatever we needed to cut back. We still have very heavy loads one way and a reduced loads on the directional way. So what's happening is that Qatar Airways average load factor is still in the high 60s when you take it directional.
Can you put a dollar figure on the financial hit that you've experienced so far and that you could experience over the coming months? I know IATA has estimated that the airline industry could see a $252 billion hit to its revenues. What are you seeing?
I don't know. I cannot comment on behalf of IATA, but on Qatar Airways, yes, we have taken a huge hit. Until December, we were really getting out of the illegal blockade that was imposed on my country. And unfortunately, with the COVID-19, we have seen a huge drop of as much as 80% in our revenues. But as an airline, we have to continue. We have to serve our country and the countries, friendly countries who have requested assistance from Qatar Airways. So in this regard, we are. We are not isolated. All the airlines in the world are going to ask for help from their governments, and Qatar Airways will, of course, be one of them, as we are state-owned. People now should forget about the question of state aid. People that were bragging about not taking state aid and being independent are now themselves all over the world asking for state aid. Aviation is a very important factor in every country's economy.
Well, to that end, have you spoken to Willie Walsh at IAG? I know that Qatar Airways is the largest shareholder there. You know, there have been debates in the UK about a bailout package. What do you think should happen there, and what are you willing to do for the airline?
I don't want to interfere in the business of IAG. We are just a strategic shareholder, but I'm sure that whatever Willie Walsh says, he's looking at the interest of his airline, and he will do the best for his company.
Now, I know this is such a difficult time. It's a hard time to think about sort of opportunities for investment looking forward. But do you see a possibility in a few months of perhaps making some opportunistic investments? I know you've talked about Indigo, you've talked about at one point even Cathay Pacific. You know, are things looking potentially profitable out there?
Yeah, there will be opportunities for us in the future, and Qatar Airways will look at it in a very positive manner. Qatar Airways keeps on investing. We look at how we can continue the revenue stream for our company, and if there is an opportunity that we see, yes, we will invest.
Where does the aviation industry go from here? What do you need to see from an indicator perspective to kind of return to normal service?
As I said earlier, aviation plays a very important part in the global economy. I know there will be a rebound. It may take a bit longer, but I'm confident that the airlines will start operating again once the problem of the COVID-19 is stabilized. There is a drug to treat it. There is a vaccine available, and people will start traveling again. What is important to note is that there will be a huge capacity reduction because in this very difficult period, it will only be survival of the fittest.
So consolidation, do you think?
Well, I don't know about consolidation too much because there is a lot of consolidation already happened, but there will be nothing left for consolidation because a lot of airlines will go belly up. Hence, I mentioned that it will only be survival of the fittest. Which airline will take very clever, prudent decisions to survive in this very difficult period in our industry? Don't forget that nothing like this ever happened. Such a pandemic never happened for the last 100 years. So now we have to live up to it. We will have to stand up to it, and we will have to persevere in this very difficult time.
Just quickly, I know one of your executives talked yesterday to Bloomberg News about potentially halting certain projects. Does that include any parts of your fleet halting orders on that front?
Executives in Qatar Airways made a comment. I'm not aware of it. I'm the group chief executive, and those kind of decisions are not made by my executives. It is made by me and my board.